Hey guys, Chef Ryan's back, and remember I told you tonight we're going to be making paella. So we're going to focus right now because this is going to take me a little bit of time. I have a very special pan that I'm using to make the paella. It's a big, wide pan. It's not very tall, but it is sloped a little bit. It's got these two handles here, which is going to be perfect for us. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with some grapeseed oil, and what we can do is focus in right now. I'm going to put this grapeseed oil, remember I talk about this grapeseed oil a lot? High heat oil. Onions and peppers is where I'm going to start, okay? Lots of onions and peppers. I'm going to spread that out. So a lot of times, of course, you're going to use lots of garlic, but for me personally, I like to cook my onions and peppers first a little bit, try to get a little bit of color on that, and then I'll add my garlic. I don't want my garlic to burn. So tonight we're going to be making a seafood paella. We're going to be featuring some crab meat, some blue crab claws, some red grouper, and some huge shrimp. And typically when you have paella, it's always got lots and lots of seafood. So we're going to stir that around just a little bit. And what I'm going to kind of do is pause the video at certain points to come back so I can show you this. This whole process is going to take, for one this big, it's going to probably take about 45 minutes. So we'll pause the video, then we'll come back and I'll show you the next step. Pause and show you the next step. All right, see you back. Okay, so we're back. I've been letting the garlic, the onions, and the peppers kind of saute down. I'm about to put in the essential pieces here. So I'm using some palmy chopped tomatoes. I'm going to keep it traditional. I'm using a short grain arborio rice, and then I'm going to use some seafood stock. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to dump this entire thing. This is about 5 cups of rice. And then we're going to add about half of this of tomato. And then we're going to hit with our seafood stock. Now we want to be real careful with this. We're going to stir it initially a couple of times, and then we're not going to touch it. We're not going to stir it. We're going to leave it alone. And I know it's difficult. I've got these packets, Sazon, okay? And we're going to use these to help get that nice yellow color in our rice. 1. I'm going to use about 5 of these packets. I usually go by 1 pack per pound of rice, per cup of rice, I should say that I do. And we'll do one more here. All right, now we're going to give this a nice stir. And because we're doing seafood, you'll say, Ryan, well, you didn't put any seafood in it yet. Well, the key is seafood's only going to take a few minutes, and we absolutely do not want to overcook all of this super nice seafood that we got. So what we want to do is let the rice have the opportunity to cook before we try and put any of the seafood in. So I'm just going to spread it out like this. I am going to put a little more seafood stock in, but remember, do not stir. Okay, we want to leave it alone. And what we're going to do is we're going to let this cook for about 15 minutes or so. Once I get the rice about 75%, 80% done, then what I'm going to do is start placing my seafood all around and just let the actual steam of the rice and the grill finish it up. So we'll see you back in about 20 minutes. Okay, here we are. We are pretty much ready to go here. So we've cooked this paella for about 20 to 25 minutes. Remember, because you're cooking this open, there's no lid on it, it's going to use up a lot more liquid than you would if you were to cook it traditionally with a lid. So I went through 3 boxes of seafood stock for that 1 container of arborio rice. And so what I'm going to do now is hit it with the seafood, because when I get to about 85% done, that's when I want to hit the seafood. So starting with the red grouper, of course. And what I'm going to do is just spread this around. I want the grouper on the outside, and then I'm going to do the shrimp right on the top. And I cut this grouper up, not into super small chunks, but in pretty good sized pieces. That way it wouldn't cook too fast, but I don't want it to overcook. Grouper is pricey. You don't want to overcook it. All right, so I got that nice mound of grouper. And all I did is season that grouper up with some oil, salt, and pepper. All right, now we've got some huge shrimp. Okay, and I'm gonna pile those shrimp right in the middle there. And remember, I'm gonna close the lid so you can kind of stack it a little bit. Perfect. And then I've got some crab claws here. You can see, I'll show you. Nice big crab claws. And we're gonna go right along the outside with these crab claws here. And the crab claws are already cooked, so we don't need to worry about those. All right. And again, what we're going to do is give this closed about 5 minutes, and we should be good to go. All we're looking for is the shrimp to kind of curl in and become pink and opaque. The grouper itself, because it's a white fish, will go from kind of that really pale color to a nice, more white looking color. I have one more claw. Perfect. And then what I'm going to do, kind of top it off, is I got some lumped crab meat. I'm going to spread. Okay. And we'll get a little close-up of that if we can. You guys should be able to see it really, really well. And I'm going to season the whole thing with some salt. And we're going to close the lid, and I will show you the final product and some pictures later. But we're going to be enjoying this, and you guys that are watching can just let me know, and we'll do curbside pickup. All right? So post in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching.